Hi guys, so today I want to talk to you a little bit about why I love books so much and how I got into them. So basically growing up, I was never really into books that much. I only started liking them more in my mid-teens and just get more and more into them the older I got basically. And by now, I really just love to get lost in all these stories that are created by all these wonderful authors and just try to look back a little bit, take a step back and think about what is it actually that I love about these books and love about reading so much. So let's get into it. So firstly, I would say I just find it fascinating what is possible with the written words, what is possible to create for all these authors, to create completely new worlds and universes and tell stories, engaging stories about new characters that they might make up in all these books and stories. And what makes it so special for me is not only that the author is telling us a story, is talking to us about his fantasies and about his ideas, but in books there is always a lot of room left for imagination. So it's always this kind of cooperation between the author and the reader, and they together build the story, the final product in the end. Because there's always, there's the intentions of what the author wants to describe and what he wants you to know, but they cannot describe in every detail what the world looks like, what people look like, what is happening. So there's always a lot of space for your own imagination to come in and kind of supplement the story and make it to this wonderful final product that is only very special and unique to yourself, because you are the only person that is experiencing that story in exact the way that you are experiencing it, with your imagination, with your background, with your experiences. And that's what I find so wonderful about these books. So next up is a point that is very close to me, which is basically lifelong learning. So I never see myself as a final product. I can always improve. I can always learn more. I should always learn more. And I have always gone into my life and continued with my life with this principle in the background that I should be consuming as much knowledge and information as I want, as I can, and as I enjoy, obviously. And one of the best ways for me to learn and improve myself and learn more about our world is by reading books. And I don't only just mean non-fiction. You can also learn a lot from fiction books. There's a lot of life lessons in many of young adult fiction, for example, that really help to building your character and the way that you interact and behave with other people and with your surroundings. But obviously you can also learn a lot from non-fiction books, which I do enjoy reading, especially like biographies as well, or some, science-based books, sometimes also history. There's just such a wide horizon of things to learn with books by just consuming these words that are written down and adding your own experience to it. There's so much to learn. It's never ending and it's a wonderful experience. And learning is something that, again, is something that's very close to my heart. The thing with learning is, I think there's a lot of people that view learning in a bad light, but that is mainly because these people have been at one point in their life focused or forced to learn something that is not interesting to them, that they have no connection with, that they are not interested to experience or learn more about. I find learning is super easy and super enjoyable when it's a topic that you're actually into it, that you're actually interested in it. And then it's just automatic and it just feels wonderful, widening and broadening your horizon and learning new things. Again, this can be so many different things. For me, for example, I very much enjoy reading in different languages. It helps me building my language skills. It helps me retaining my language skills in languages that I have learned from very young age on. So that's something that I find very valuable in books, that many of these books are translated in multiple different languages, and stories that I love, I can experience them in different languages, and they always have a little bit of a unique touch to them if they are translated into a different language. So that's something that I enjoy absolutely. It's learning all around. It's just consuming more and more knowledge through books, which the most difficult part here is to pick the books, because there are so many and there's just not enough time to read them all. So you have to be very selective with what you enjoy, with what you actually want, and where you are going to spend your time on. A little bit connected with the previous point is that I find that through books you are able to experience new cultures and new locations in a very, very real way. Of course, it's not really traveling to these locations in person, but you are able to learn about different cultures. You are able to learn about different lives in different locations, in different places on this earth, that it almost makes you feel that through books you are able to travel the world, basically, which I find very valuable as well. So for example, I recently read a few books on Iran, a place, a country that I've never traveled to, but it really helped me understand that country a little bit better. It helped me understand the culture and the struggles and all of the history of that place a lot better. I've actually spent time and an effort to learn about these locations and these different cultures by reading books, by specifically selecting books on places and locations that I have very little knowledge in at this point and that I'm interested in learning more about. So it almost feels like you have, through books, you have this method and this capability of instantaneous teleportation through time and space, which I find absolutely wonderful. Now, probably the last thing, but just as important, why I love reading books so much is that they are just a wonderful means of relaxation, of calming down yourself, getting away from the stress of the daily life. So I find nothing more calming than just lying back on the sofa on a night that I probably had a very stressful day at work, and then just having a cup of tea next to me and snuggling up on the sofa, reading about the story and transporting myself into this whole other world where just all my daily stress and daily life pressures and issues and problems just immediately disappear as soon as I start reading on the first page. Of course, it's some form of escapism, but I do find this to be a very valuable means of releasing stress. Absolutely. Yeah, so these are my main points, I would say, why I love reading so much, why I will continue to read more and more in the future as well, and why I always make time for reading, because it's very time consuming and we all have a very stressful and very busy life, I would assume, but it's just something you have to make time for. And I would encourage everybody to read more and focus on reading things that you love, that you are interested in, no matter what other people's interests are. So yeah, guys, please do let me know in the comments below, why do you love reading so much? What does it mean to you? And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.